welcome everyone to episode 111 of the internet sensation known as Triple Threat Talk. Isn't that cute? You know how to use your fingers.
I don't have 3 hands, so I can't do 111. So just
be nice to make your job as a package handler a little easier.
That's 111.
That's right. I'm Gary the Dr. Locker, joined as always by Mr. Big B, the package handler, Brandon DeMura.
Not my title.
As you can tell, we are short one Mr. Postmaster Jimmy Biggers. We want to start off by saying we wish his family, his wife's family, our deepest condolences. His wife's grandfather lost a battle today and sadly passed away. So we want to express our deepest condolences and well wishes to the family.
Yep. But
anyways, the show must go on, as they say, and as usual, starting it off with user questions. First off, by Mr. Jeffrey Castor. What are our thoughts on Kurt Angle's 4th or 3rd arrest for DUI?
Is
it kind of like Jeff Hardy's 4th or 3rd addiction to drugs?
You got more than 4. As far as this goes, he's making the right move by going to rehab, because obviously he has a problem with this because he's got multiple ones, as he mentioned. He's got multiple DUI arrests. It's not good. Doesn't look good on TNA's part, which I personally think Kurt Angle's done with them. I think when his contract comes up to renew, they probably won't do it. It's been talked about before that Kurt Angle's going to go back to WWE anyway to retire there, because that's where he wants to go to retire. He said that before. That's no secret. But it doesn't look good from a company standpoint for TNA. And WWE's always had a open door policy with Kurt Angle, so I think Kurt Angle is pretty much out of TNA at this point. So
yeah, I think he's done with TNA. They'll bring in somebody to replace him for the Aces and Eights.
Who they gonna get this time? Who's retired? Rampage Jackson.
Kurt Angle. All right, I'm sorry, not Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock.
Steve Blackman.
No, that'd be epic. That'd be a good idea.
All right.
I'd watch TNA Steve Blackman.
Do you think WWE has dropped the ball with Wade Barrett, or is there still time for him to get on a higher level than his current status?
All right, well, I know he feels more passionate about this than I do, because I know he's...
Yeah, so tread lightly.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, Walter White.
Yeah, thanks.
Walter White. Jesse. I liked Wade Barrett. When he was in Nexus, he was one of my favorites in the WWE. I thought the way he commanded that group...
Did I hear past tense?
What?
You said liked? Did I hear past tense?
Something dumb.
Okay.
When he was in the Nexus, he was one of my favorite people in the WWE. I think I liked the way he ran that group. I thought he ran it really well, and I thought that's why the Nexus thrived, because he was a great leader of that group. And then, he did the core, and he was still a good leader in that group. And then he went all away for a while because he got injured by the Big Show, which the Big Show seems to ruin things. And then he came back on Raw, which just made me a happy camper. And then when he came back from after the injury, it seems like he lost a lot of what he had in terms of his aura, what brought him to the table with leading the group, and when he was kind of on his own, and he seemed like he lost the momentum when he left. And I don't know what it is. I honestly thought Wade Barrett would be at least a one-time world champion by now, and at least if not world or WWE, I thought he would be something since he came back. He hasn't won anything, I think, since he came back. But I think Wade Barrett's a great talent. Obviously, it's been proven. He got Chris Jericho as a trainer on NXT, which was good for him, and obviously him leading those two groups proved how good he can be on the mic, and he's a very good wrestler. So I think they are dropping the ball with him, but I think usually with great talent, sometimes they knock him down and they end up picking him back up. So I think Wade's all right. So
I think he's doing all right. I think he's just kind of right now paying his jobber dues a little bit. No one really likes it. I don't really like it.
Haircuts by Daniel Bryan.
That's right. He's winning matches though here and there. He won, had a pretty big win over Daniel Bryan. So it wasn't clean, but it was still a win over Daniel Bryan.
A win is a win, and then the record.
A win is a win. So I think Wade's going to be okay.
Yeah.
From the Bucking Five, which college and professional football games are you most looking forward to seeing this year?
This year more than any, I'm looking forward to U of L UK college football because of Mark Stoops as the coach for UK. Very hyped up program over there. Definitely going to be a more competitive game than recent years, I think, with U of L and UK, just because there's more excitement around the city of the University of Kentucky this time around when it comes to football. One game that I know everyone has a circled on their calendar is definitely Alabama at Texas A&M at College Station. We have a headline again. Johnny Manziel is a headline again. What a surprise. So we'll see. Does the NCAA come down on him before this point? And then here's the thing. You have Game A and Game B. Game A is Manziel plays and Alabama, Texas A&M is a classic for the season. Game B, Manziel doesn't play and Alabama completely destroys Texas A&M. So we'll see what happens. That's definitely going to have my radar. And of course, professional games. We're looking forward to Niners, Seahawks. Both of them. One at Candlestick, one at CenturyLink. I look forward to Patriots and Broncos. I think they're playing again this year, I believe. A lot of the AFC North matchups, Steelers and Ravens, those are always good matchups. And the NFC East is always a competitive division too. So there's a lot of good games going on this year, and a lot of new faces in new places. So we'll see how the Bills do with EJ Manuel, and see if the Jets can win more than 2 games. So we'll see what happens. But it's going to be an exciting season, and not just college but professional too.
Thanks for literally stealing every single one of my answers.
Welcome.
Literally.
You can't think of anything else?
No, not well. The Niners and Titans, just because I think I'm going to go to that. So I think,
we'll see. Everyone always says every year about CJ 2000 if he can rebound from the season he had in 2008. So we'll see what happens. And of course, we're all. I know me personally. We're all looking forward to seeing the video of him running against a cheetah.
Oh yeah,
that's classic.
That'll be fun. That'll be classic.
That'll be like top ratings right there.
Yeah, I think the cheetah's going to slaughter him.
There's a barrier. See, it'd be better if there wasn't a barrier. Let's see how fast Chris Johnson won if he's getting chased by a cheetah. That'd be good TV.
Wow,
that'd be good TV.
If the 3 of you started working for TNA, how would you fix the problems that have started popping up within the company?
I would tell everyone to go home. No.
I would sell.
No. First of all, I've said countless times about TNA, they need to start scouting. They need to use the developmental system that they have currently. They have a partnership with TNA. TNA has a partnership with TNA. I hope so. TNA has a partnership with OVW. They need to start bringing people from OVW to work them into TNA. Gutcho was a miserable failure. Everybody knows about Gutcho was a miserable failure.
It was set up
because Bruce Pritchard got fired for it because he was ahead of it, and it was awful. And ask anybody that works for OVW that was a part of it, and they know it was bad. But then they start bringing people from OVW up. That's what the system is for. They're the official training ground of They're the official training ground of TNA. So you have people in OVW. Use Jamin, use Ali, use Hayes, use Taylor. I know these Taylor before, but
use the Blossoms.
Use
use Joe. Use Joe Rosa and Joe Coleman.
Use Shiloh Jones. There's a lot of talent in OVW that they need to start using, because when you have a partnership, it's a two-way street. So.
Use the assassin, for God's sakes.
I think that would scare everybody. But
sure scared me.
If you have OVW as a training ground, use the people. Don't just say, "Oh, let's get rid of Tara, and let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of who they get rid of? Luke Gallows from Aces and Eights, and let's bring in Tito Ortiz." Like, who thinks of that stuff? So you need to start bringing people in that are like old and past their prime, and use the farm system that you have in OVW, and not just OVW. Go scout, go to PWG, go to all these different promotions around the country and scout talent. That's how you find talent. Look how deep WWE's roster is in NXT. NXT is fantastic. They have people from all over the place. They come there to train. That's the perfect example. They're training people as NXT, so they get people from NXT. That's where they go. You have OVW. You don't like OVW, then leave them. I mean, if you don't want to use them, then you're wasting their time. So use your resources. Don't just go, it's like, oh, who's retired? Let's bring him in. That's not a smart idea.
I'm going to issue a challenge to TNA. Anybody who's watching this, I know we've got somebody from TNA watching, just because we have somebody from WWE watching. TNA guy, whoever you are, I don't know. It doesn't matter who you are.
Call him Joe.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Joe Rosa. I forgot about
Joe Rosa. Okay, I said Joe Rosa.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The point is, you're not doing what is necessary. I'm speaking to you, TNA guy. Whoever you are, whoever's watching this show, whoever the TNA gods have appointed to watch Triple Threat Talk, God bless your soul, first of all. I'm issuing you a challenge. Call us. Contact us. Do what is necessary. Do what you can. Because guess what? The 3 of us, well, 2 of us right now, and the third kind of outbound, the 3 of us is what your company needs. Given the choice, it's one of those things. I don't want to see TNA fail because it's another option. If WWE ever lacks or starts to lack, it's something else to watch on television, TNA. So it's obviously not in anyone's interest, especially OVW's, which is one of our interests, for TNA to fail. Start using your farm system and contact us, because you know what? What other option do you have except for bankruptcy in 6 months? And that is how much money you have on the books. 6 more months. If you don't do something in the next 6 months, you're all done and you all look like failures. So what do you have to lose by contacting us and getting some ideas out there? I challenge you to swallow your pride and contact Triple Threat Talk. We can help you do this, and we're willing to help you do this.
The thing is, I remember Dixie Carter mentioning a while back that she wanted to do like a cross-promotion show between her and WWE. I don't blame WWE for not acknowledging it because they probably see TNA as a joke. What do they do? It's just like...
We can make it not a joke.
Again, I know WWE watches TNA because they're interested in some people. They're interested in Samoa Joe. They're interested in Mickey James because their contract's coming up soon. Well, if they know about it. But they have someone watch TNA for them. So...
You're absolutely right.
But they see what's going on. They're probably like, they probably watched the TNA we were at. They're probably like, oh, not bad. And they saw Tito Ortiz and like, nothing surprises us anymore.
So contact us. We'll get you back on the right track.
Tito Ortiz, give me a break.
Buck5, you did ask a question. Big B will answer it later. How do you feel about the controversy surrounding Milos Raonic and his match?
Milos Raonic.
Thank you. And his match against Del Pocho. So we're not ignoring it. We're just ignoring it for now.
Good go.
Thank you. All right. I read that WWE is thinking about making SmackDown a 3-hour-long show to go along with Raw. Do you think it's a good idea, or 1 3-hour-long show enough? Let's. And you want to answer together?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Bad.
Why?
That's a bad idea.
Bad idea.
I think Raw 3 hours is fine because it gives time for more talent to perform, and Raw's a more quality show. SmackDown is the show that I think where it is fine. I think adding another hour to SmackDown, it seems like it would drag, and that's not good.
Last question here for the day. James Bond, do you think Chris Sabin fits World Heavyweight Champion? I'm going to say no.
I like Sabin. I think he's a great worker. I think he's paid his dues a lot. He's been through a lot in terms of his injuries and coming back from them and really being strong. I like him better than Bully Ray. I'll tell you that right now. I still can't take.
Who doesn't? Bully Ray.
I still can't take Bully Ray seriously because I still see him as Bully Ray with those glasses.
Get the tables.
No, this is a table. I got a table.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like Chris Sabin, but is there people in TNA I'd rather see be champion? Of course, I'd rather see Bobby Roode. I'd rather see AJ. I'd rather see Anderson. But I mean, does it? Yeah, I guess for the time he's fine. Because they obviously say he's the guy that's paid his dues and he deserves it. So I think I'm going to say yes at this point. So
I don't think so. I just don't think he's done a whole lot. He hasn't really impressed me.
So it's like the Shania Twain song.
Pretty much.
You don't impress me much.
You don't impress me much.
Country music reference.
So, I think I'd like to see a little bit more work. Although, with that being said, I'm glad Bully Ray no longer has the championship. So it's kind of like going back to TNA, like, darned if you do, darned if you don't. At least Bubba Ray doesn't have it, but at the same time, Chris Sabin has it.
Yeah.
So
toss up there.
Yeah. So with that being said, Buck5? Buck5.
Yeah.
For the umpteenth millionth time, Buck5, you are this week's Triple Threat Talk Viewer of the Week. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, yours truly, the Doc, has headlines. Stay tuned.
No one expected me to be here. No one expected me to be a starter, to hit game-winning shots, or even play in this league. Well, I'm not here to live up to anyone else's expectations. I'm here to live up to mine.
And welcome back to the internet sensation known as Triple Threat Talk. I am your host, the Doctor, along with my esteemed co-host. There, you happy? I'm giving you props. Big B, Brandon.
I get I see him call from Jimmy when he's here. So.
Yeah. Anyways, Big B, hit my music.
Now let's see if you come up with a better use of the hat. Let's find out.
Doctor, give me the news. I got the bad case of the headline blues.
Hold on, here we go.
Oh yeah.
That was good. That was good. Much better. Better.
It's better.
Yeah, I've been working on that.
Better.
Yeah.
It would have been better if a rabbit came out of that. Little magic show.
Alrighty here. Unfortunately, I'm going to get the bad news out of the way first because I don't like bad news and I want to move past it. Unfortunately, a 30-something-year-old fan did pass away at Turner Field earlier this week after a fatal fall after the rain delay toward the end of the rain delay with Philadelphia. Fell 85 feet. There's still kind of investigating to see what happened, but it's very sad indeed. This is happening a lot lately. People are just falling over stadiums. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where they're going to need to put up like some sort of barricade or
something like that. I mean, there is, but not, I guess, safety.
Not good enough, I suppose.
It's happening more often than you think. So.
Jason Duffner wins the PGA Championship.
Wait. Let me Duffner. You don't remember that?
That was Stephen Hawking.
No, that was Duffnering.
Here's
No,
Duffner.
he sits on his hands and he has like this dazed look.
Here's Huffnering. Hold on.
Duffner.
Here's Duffner.
Huffnering? Yeah, you sit on your hands. He says that he's sitting on his hands. He was sitting on his hands, fella. You're not sitting on your hands.
Anyways,
everybody at home, Duff.
Jim Furyk, I picked him to win the thing. He did come in second. Tiger, nowhere to be seen.
Tiger finished tied for 40th, his worst performance. I can't remember the leagues. Jimmy would know the exact timetable for it. But, I kind of have to, take my lumps where I deserve them. I said Roy is kind of falling apart. He didn't win, but he got pretty close. He was in the hunt anyway towards the end. He was kind of close for it. So, he's doing a good job, but he still didn't win. But he did a lot better. Tiger he's not going to major ever again. And then the reason I say this is because, Jimmy, he brought up a good point last week where he said Tiger can't go 0 for 40, whatever he needs left, whatever, if he plays for a certain amount of years. But this seemed like the perfect opportunity for him to even not just win, but get really close to being in the hunt. He played the best event of golf I've ever seen him play in a long time, a week prior, and then he comes to this event and he just completely loses. I've never seen him play that bad. He was tied for 40th. He didn't play that well. It just doesn't seem like he can. It seems like he can win these other events. Like he'll pass Sam Steen's record for most PGA wins all time. He'll pass that, no problem. But as far as passing Jack, not going to happen. As far as winning the major again, not going to happen. Because when the pressure points get to Tiger, when he gets to the point where it's a major, he can't do it anymore. He doesn't have it in him mentally anymore. And even if he gets in a discussion where he's going to be in the last day on a Sunday, and he's like in the lead like he was. I think the British Open he was in the lead. He fell apart. He doesn't have it mentally anymore. He doesn't.
I think that what's going to happen is that, if he does win, I'll say it every year. Tiger's best chance to win a championship is at Augusta.
Mashed potato! Sorry.
Are you out of is that out of your system?
Yes.
Okay.
If you didn't see that, it's on YouTube. Tiger was going for a tee. I can't remember what hole it was, and some idiot in the crowd when he tees off, he goes mashed potato, and as the brilliant journalist that I am on this show, I do my research, and this guy has done it multiple times. He's gone into events and just yelled mashed potato. So
good for you. That's a good bit of research.
yes, it is. I know. I spared you.
How did you even manage to compile all that data?
I typed in mashed potato on YouTube for the PGA, and it was a bunch of videos. Why would you yell mashed potato? I can.
We could yell package handler.
I can see you yelling, get in the hole, or or why mashed potato? Let's just yell anything. Croissant, dinner roll, chicken salad. Let's just yell everything, right?
Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Best part.
But we can all sleep better.
I hope so.
Anyways, I don't think Tiger will win if it's not at Augusta. Mr. Biggers is messaging us right now. Kyle Busch wins the NASCAR race at Watkins Glen last week. Max Pappas was filling in for Tony Stewart. He finished 15th. This weekend in Michigan, Austin Dillon will fill in for Mr. Stewart. And Michigan Raceway is pretty good race every year, and I don't look for that to change. I think Austin Dillon, he's been given a shot here.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a good name. I think he's going to realize he's going to get a shot, and I think he's going to make the most of it.
I mean, look at Talladega Nights. Okay, his name was Ricky Bobby. 2 first names. Austin Dillon, 2 first names. This kid's going places.
If you're not first, you're last.
You could be. What do you mean? You could be second, third, fourth.
Big B, since you're feeling particularly long-winded tonight, go ahead and take us through tennis.
Okay, so I noticed that Buck and 5 asked a question earlier. Said, Mr. B, that's me, if you don't know. How do you feel about the controversy surrounding Milos Raonic in his match against Del Potro? Now, I didn't know about this when the question was asked, so I actually looked it up. I didn't see it the first time, but I saw it this afternoon when I looked it up. So what happened was Raonic goes for a shot up at the net. It was a recovery shot by Del Potro, and Raonic hits the shot to the opposite corner, and his foot touches the net. And if you know anything about tennis rules, you cannot touch the net. And the thing about it was, the weird thing about the clip is where Raonic hits the net, the chair umpire is looking right down at his feet, so we obviously saw it happen. And that, I think that's either replay the point. I don't know the exact rule, but it's either replay the point or the point goes to Del Potro. It was a crucial point because Raonic already won the first set, and that was deuce at that point. So if Del Potro wins that point, it would have been his ad, and he had a chance to break. Raonic actually ended up winning that match, obviously, and he ended up getting beat down by Nadal in the final in Toronto. Nadal played really well. He played Djokovic in the semifinal, and that was a good match by the two of those guys. But yeah, it's odd that the referee didn't call it. Del Potro was obviously very visibly frustrated. So, but that's my feelings on it. It should have been caught because it got caught at the French Open with Djokovic and Nadal. Here, the referee was kind of looking right at his feet, so I don't know, why he didn't catch it. But that's that. In terms of now, they're actually up north in Cincinnati right now. Playing the Western and Southern Open. It's a great tournament. The tournament directors really made that facility great. They're actually building they're supposedly going to have a tram now go right from the center to Kings Island, which is pretty cool for people that go up there to do something while they have downtime. Some big things happening. Sloane Stevens beat Sharapova, gets a new coach, and Jimmy Connors, and she loses. So that's interesting. Sloane Stevens beat her in 3 sets. Djokovic has a chance to do something no player's ever done, win all the Masters titles at the same time. They'll have all of them. Cincinnati's the one that eludes him, so we'll see if he can do it now. Federer does something very interesting. Federer obviously was struggling a bit during the hard court season after French Open and Wimbledon, and he switched rackets to a bigger frame. Everyone was telling Federer to switch to a bigger frame. He was struggling, losing to people he never really loses to, and it was a tribute to his back injury as well. Then he comes to Cincinnati, switches to his older frame, the one that's won him 17 Grand Slam titles and over $76 million. And he wins against Cole Schwarber 6-3, 7-6. So we'll see if he sticks with the smaller frame he's using right now. He says he's gonna test out rackets, so we'll see what happens. I think Federer can play with a wooden spoon. He'd still probably be pretty good. So that's pretty much tennis coverage for now. Definitely look forward to seeing the Cincinnati tournament get condensed and see who's going to make it towards the end. One story that I was going to mention, I can't remember the first guy's name, but this guy's name was McDonald. He was an American player. He was not ranked. He was, I think, ranked somewhere, but he had like $560 to his ranking points, and he made like the qualifiers, and he's already going to make $10,000, which is incredible. That's how much money you can make just by getting to the qual. So good job by him to make it. One last note about tennis before we move on. Eric Quigley, who's obviously known for playing here locally, he played for South Oldham, and he actually played for the University of Kentucky. He made the he made qualifiers there. He played Pablo Andahar. Unfortunately, he did lose, but that's a good step in the right direction for him for his career and see what he can accomplish later down the road. So,
you'll be glad to know that there is a poker hand called Ace King. Mm-hmm. The ace and the king.
Yeah.
People are nicknaming it Anna Kournikova because it looks good, but it never wins.
Was that a joke?
Yeah, no, it's true.
No, I'm being serious. Is that a joke?
No, people are really calling it. People call it the Anna Kournikova. I'm not kidding you.
Well, there's a little bit not correct information there. She didn't never win. She did win Grand Slams in doubles, but
on the
surface,
on the gigantic scale of things, does she ever win? No.
Well, I mean, when she looks like that, who needs to win her? Right?
That's true. That much is true. That's why it's called King.
But to be fair, Anna Ivanovic is extremely gorgeous, and she's won the French Open. So she's Anna Kournikova with the talent, I guess you could say. Who knows?
All right.
But she's a very good doubles player, Anna Kournikova. So.
The Dodgers are the hottest team in baseball. The Braves. The Braves have the longest winning streak, but they are not.
Which got snapped by the Marlins. The Marlins.
They get snapped. But the Dodgers, even last week, they were the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
As of filming right now, they do have a game going on.
They're playing the Mets.
But 39-8 in the last.
They're playing the Mets. They're playing the Mets. They're playing the Mets.
All right, thank you.
So you can adjust.
Dodgers hottest team in baseball, 39-8 in the last 47 games.
You know what's scary about this Dodger team?
UCL Puig?
No, that's not. It's not. Here's the thing. It's not scary who they have. It's scary who they're missing. They're winning those games without Matt Kemp. When he comes back, I wouldn't want to play this team. I wouldn't.
I don't want to play this team right now.
I mean, look at the people. Adrian Gonzalez, Yasiel Puig, Clayton Kershaw. This team has everything going for them. I mean, like, if you couldn't think of a better turnout for a manager than Johnny Manziel, you couldn't write this up any better. I mean, the guy was pretty much...
He was out.
I mean, like, you think of it this way.
He was packing his bags. I'll see you guys later on.
Think of it this way.
Wait a minute, Don Matty. Hold on.
Think of it this way, right? He's out the door. The GM has his foot ready to kick his butt out the door, and he puts his foot down. That's how close he was to being out. And this team is just... I mean, it's great to see a team like the Dodgers do as well, because they were a team back in the early days of baseball that was a very dominant team, the Brooklyn Dodgers. But the Dodgers were a very preeminent team back in the day, and now they've seen a lot of struggles and haven't been as great. But now they have great pitching, they have great hitting. I mean, they are. Again, with the World Series, how it goes, does the best team always win it? No, the Giants were the best team last year, but they got hot at the right time. That's how playoffs work. It's not just that in baseball; it's that in football too. Were the Giants the best team in the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. They weren't the best team, but they got hot at the right time. So, I mean, but I would say right now the Dodgers look like the best team, and I'd be surprised if they didn't make the World Series. I'd be surprised.
I mean, it's almost like, hey, Don, 3 months ago. Hey, Don.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, we're going to have to let you go. Look at the screen. Wait, hold on one second, Don. Hold on. Who the hell is UCL Puig?
What's his name? Yasiel Puig.
You know what, Don? We'll call you back after this game. Well, dude, that guy just hit a home run.
It's crazy because, like, yeah, the whole team is playing together, but Yasiel Puig was like the battery that supercharged his team to really wake up. It's like, hey, this guy is a rookie and he's like really playing well. Let's all put our...
He's playing better than A-Rod. Oh, wait.
A-Rod's playing? Anyway, but no... UCL Puig really charged this team, and then the team is playing like they're playing as a team. I mean, again, I love Matt Harvey. I think he's one of the best pitchers in the NL, but he's not the Cy. Clayton Kershaw wins the Cy Young in the NL. Period. I like Matt Harvey. I think he's great, but Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher in the National League. Period.
In other news, Autograph Gate, as it's being called at U of L. It is a horrible name, but they're calling it Autograph Gate. And I'm like, really? How many gates do we need? Seriously, we had Watergate.
Wait. There's 4 sides to this tape.
I mean, it's all sorts of ridiculous gates. Spygate.
Gatorade.
That was bad.
It was.
Beside a dumb name, even though it's the University of Louisville, I don't see a story here.
No, because Bridger was not paid.
Well, not that they know of yet. To be fair on that, they're also saying they are saying that Johnny Manziel was paid, but there's no proof of that either. So we don't know, but I'm gonna side with you. Yeah. I don't think earlier this week it seemed as if there was proof that Bridgewater was paid. Now it seems like that's not the case.
I mean, it seems with Manziel. I mean, obviously something came out the other day where it said he signed 2 more things. Now it seems like it's getting. I mean, that's our last headline. We're going to take a break here in a minute and talk about Johnny Manziel. But it seems like every week something happens to this kid, and it's just I'm getting tired of it. I mean, if I were a GM for a football team, why would you sign this guy? I mean, he's a fantastic. I cannot stress that he's a fantastic player.
I think I'll tell you why. And the reason is, if you're a pro, it really doesn't matter if you get paid or not to do anything. Because it just doesn't matter. Pros are going to drink, pros are going to do whatever, because at that point he's a grown man.
They're an adult.
Johnny Manziel is a child living an adult's life right now. When we come back after the break, we'll go a little bit further into this autograph gate and then talk a little bit more about Johnny Manziel right after this Triple Threat Talk.
We really wanted to take a relaxing trip to Florida, just to unwind.
But we can only afford one trip this year, and his high school reunion is coming up in Seattle.
Everyone's going. Then we heard about Hotwire and realized we could actually afford to take both trips.
See, when really nice hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them. So we got our 4-star hotels for half price.
I should have been voted most likely to travel.
HOTWIRE, hotwire.com.
Save big on car rentals, too, from $11.95 a day.
And welcome back after the break here at Triple Threat Talk. This is Gary the Dr. Lockard, joined as always by the package handler, Big B, Brandon DeMiro. Keep that head on low. Anyways, So, we're talking a little bit about this autograph gate situation going on. Got a little off track talking about Johnny Manziel a little bit sooner.
When you say autograph gate, you know what I think of it as? There's a gate.
You got autograph.
No, there's a gate where people stand behind for autographs.
So, you know, to me, the biggest overreaction in sport. Now, this is a non-story. Don't get me wrong. The only reason it's even in headlines is A, it's local interest, and B, because of what the University of Louisville did. The University of Louisville on their fan day, where you know they have open practice and all that stuff. University of Louisville canceled the fan autograph session, which was a complete overreaction, because I can go out and get Russ Smith, Teddy Bridgewater, Johnny Manziel. I can go out and get their autographs all I want and put it on eBay and get paid for it.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And that will not affect their eligibility at all. They don't see a dime as long as they do not see a dime of it. Exactly. As long as they don't see a dime of it. It does not matter whose autograph I get. If I go out and sell it, that is my business. This thing, people have been doing this for 10 years on eBay, and this is just now a situation. This is just now a story. This is ridiculous. A complete and utter overreaction by the University of Louisville. I get that they want to play safe. I get that. And I get that Charlie Strong looks out for his players first. But if you want your fans to act like Kentucky fans, like you yourself have said, has he not said that? I wish our fans were a little more like Kentucky fans. Thank you. If you want your fans to act more like Kentucky fans, you have to treat them like Kentucky fans and do not overreact when things like this happen. Yeah. You know, people, when Eric Bledsoe was accused of doing this, of this kind of thing, when John Wall was accused of doing this kind of thing, you know, no one overreacted. We kept our calm. That is one thing we did do, because when it comes to basketball, our program is bigger than one or two players. At the same time, we did not overreact. You do not need to be overreacting like this. This is a bad move by the University of Louisville.
Yeah. Obviously, I think the overwhelming attention that Manziel's story was getting, and then obviously UL got kind of bunched in with it. They're kind of like, whoa, we don't want to be part of that. That's not us. So they're kind of like, you're making every single step, making every single precaution that's like, we can't get caught in this mess because that's not us. So that's what they're trying to make sure everything's, you know.
And not just to pick on U of L, Miami did the same thing. Throwing it out there. University of Miami Hurricanes did the same exact thing. It's a bad move. It's a bad move to cancel autograph sessions.
It's happened. People getting paid in college, in terms of, not, me and Jimmy have a conversation about this all the time about players getting paid. They get paid for room and board, food, they get paid full ride. You know, but in terms of players getting paid, you know, money for playing, it happens all the time. Look at SMU. Look at the scandal they went through. I mean, it happens. People get paid all the time. Eric Dickerson got a car from SMU to play. It happens in college all the time. Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel, it happens.
Terrell Pryor got tattoos.
It happens.
I mean, these things happen. And this leads perfectly into our Johnny Manziel story. Is getting deeper. So apparently now there were 12 or 13 autograph sessions where brokers paid Johnny Manziel $7,500 for his signature. Yeah. His attorney's the same guy that represented Cam Newton with his scandal at Auburn.
He got out of there.
Yeah, he got out of there pretty good. His attorney thinks that he won't miss a game. Some people think, if anything, Johnny Manziel will miss one game, unless, of course, it's proven that he took money, in which case he'll probably be not able to play college
for a year,
for at least a year. Yeah. But it's one of those things that it's boiled down to it, and it's just, as Big B said earlier, it's something every week. You keep boiling it down and boiling it down. What's there going to be left after everything is evaporated? Yeah. Is anything even going to be there? And at this point in time, Johnny Manziel had my sympathies a couple weeks ago. I thought it was just a big misunderstanding, but now it's started a snowball effect, like an avalanche effect, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And at what point is it going to stop? You know, next week, you know, he'll be Aaron Hernandez accessory or something like that. You know, it doesn't matter. He's not. I'm just saying, but just saying for the sake of making a point. Where's it going to end with this guy?
He needs to grow up. Again, when he was born, he was already rich. His dad was rich from the oil business, so he was Rich from the moment he stepped on this earth, Johnny Manziel. It's again. Here's the thing. This is why I believe he did these things, because if he didn't do anything suspicious in his past with this stuff, like leaving the passing academy from Peyton Manning and drinking and doing this and bar fights and all that stuff, I wouldn't think anything of it. With this autograph, it's like, okay, probably misunderstanding, but his track record doesn't help him. I mean, it seems like he does things without any repercussions. It's like, oh, money? Okay. He has enough money. He's showing like $100 bills on Instagram and going to the Miami Heat games.
Hanging out with LeBron James.
Right.
Which he is doing.
Yeah. I don't think he gets it. I mean, he seems like a good kid, but I'm not trying to be mean at all to Johnny Manziel. I'm not, but it just seems like up here is not working right. The hamster's not running on the wheel, it seems like. It's just, he doesn't get it.
It's either that or he doesn't care.
It's one bad move after another. It's, the drinking and the bar fight and the leaving the passing academy and this and that and the autographs. Dude, you are a Heisman Trophy winner. And as a freshman, first ever, you play on a team that has a chance to win a national championship if they could beat Alabama, which they probably could, especially at home in College Station. And more than likely, it looks like you're going to play one more year of college and you're going to go to the NFL and make millions of dollars. You got to maybe play for the Raiders or the Jets or whoever the worst team is. It's probably one of those two. But you're going to make millions of dollars either way. You're going to be a number one draft pick. You're going to make your money. You're going to play NFL football like you wanted to do since you were a child. And you keep making dumb decisions. Wake up. You are becoming an adult. You're not acting like an adult. You're becoming one. But you're making these decisions and you're not being smart. You know that these violations about signing autographs for money is against the rules, and you supposedly did it anyway. Again, with Manti Te'o and all his stuff about the girl and all stuff, whatever, he still got signed because he was a good football player. So will Johnny Manziel get signed? Probably.
Probably, absolutely.
Because he's a damn good football player. But there's going to be speculation, just like with Manti Te'o. What's this guy's psyche? What is wrong with him? Why is he doing all this stuff? And I tell you this much, I was talking to one of my friends about it. Say like Eli Manning, he's getting a little older, but he's not done yet. But say the Giants sign Johnny Manziel as a backup and they're going to start, putting him in the spot to maybe take over Eli when Eli retires or whatever. Eli's not done there, but I'm just saying. Tom Coughlin's not going to handle that stuff. Absolutely not. He does one thing online, Tom Coughlin's going to say, you're gone. He doesn't take that kind of crap. Neither does Pete Carroll. Neither does John Harbaugh. Nobody takes that.
How about Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh, too. Coaches in the NFL, they're there to win. They're not there to mess around. This isn't babysitting. This is NFL football. You're there to win. If you're not there to win and you're going to fool around, go somewhere else, because that's not what they're there for.
Here's the thing. College Station, Texas A&M, they've been irrelevant for 35, 40 years. Johnny Manziel comes along. All of a sudden, this started. On top of last year, this stuff happens. It's making, if I'm Texas A&M, I'm almost thankful for being, even though it's a little bit of a skid mark, in the overall general scheme of things, nobody cares about Texas A&M. Except for right now. All right, I'm just being blunt. Look it up. Texas A&M has never been relevant in their history. Except for the last couple of years.
Would anybody be talking about Texas A&M if Manziel was there? No, of course not.
Absolutely not.
The game against Alabama wouldn't matter.
Let me finish my point. Tell me I'm wrong. Seriously, tell me I'm wrong. Nobody cares about Texas A&M. When Johnny Manziel's gone, no one will care about Texas A&M.
Well, they'll probably see how they rebound.
Here's the point. The point is, they've got a little bit of fame and fortune right now, just like Johnny Manziel is getting used to. In the general scheme of things, they're just like Virtual Boy. They're just like 3D television. They're just like anybody who's won an Olympic gold medal in the sport of gymnastics. People are going to talk about them for 15 minutes and then be done. Nobody cares in the general scheme of things.
Let's talk about the Virtual Boy for 15 minutes.
Yeah, Virtual Boy is dead.
I would talk about that for maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
I'll tell you an interesting story later on about that.
Okay. The point is,
Virtual Boy.
Talk about Texas A&M now. Even though it's a little bit of bad news, the fact of the matter is what he said. Johnny Football is an amazing football player. And as long as he's, proven that the amount of money he took, if anything, if it's proven he took anything at all, as long as they can be paid back, he'll be playing again. And then when he leaves Texas A&M, there will be no one will care about Texas A&M anymore. So Texas A&M, you're up. And I can liken it to the point as the Aaron Hernandez situation in New England. New England's a high-profile program. New England's a very high-profile program.
Yeah, look what they did. Even before the story came, they cut him.
That stuck to that team, though. When people say New England, now people might say, oh, Tom Brady got hurt. But before today, when Tom Brady got hurt, you say New England, Aaron Hernandez, name association. 10 years from now, when you say New England, Aaron Hernandez, name association.
Or Tom Brady.
10 years from now, when you say Johnny Manziel, whatever pro team he's playing for, not Texas A&M.
Well, hopefully
That's the point.
That's true. But I mean, even though I agree with you to an extent, but still people talk about that thing with Reggie Bush and USC.
Reggie Bush is a high-profile player. And USC is a high-profile program. Texas A&M is not.
Well, Manziel, I think that'll stick with him a little while. I mean,
not in 10 years. Ask me in 10 years.
Personally, for me, I can see him play 10 years. I wouldn't forget that thing with Matt Tateo.
Well, because once again, the program is a high-profile program. I mean, you're not taking into consideration
the program.
What I said before. Texas A&M has been irrelevant for 35, 40 years. Nobody cares about Texas A&M.
Except for now.
In 10 years, ask me about Johnny Manziel, and I guarantee you I won't remember a thing about it. I'll say, oh, look, he's playing for the 49ers, or oh, look, he's playing for the Seahawks. Or
I don't want him on my team.
Oh, yeah, you would in a heartbeat. After Russell Wilson's gone in 10 years, you wouldn't want Johnny Manziel?
You won't be gone in 10 years, Russell. Besides, Manziel.
I got news for you, brother, and this is a knock on both of our teams. With the read option offense and people figuring that out, Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick, neither one of them is going to be around in 10 years. Well, I guarantee.
Well, Manziel's, let's see. Russell Wilson was a rookie last year, and Kaepernick's in his third year. Mm-hmm. Manziel, 10 years ago, they're going to be in the same boat with him, so it's not going to matter.
I'm just saying, they get all it's going to take is one wrong misstep into a tackle or into a blitz, and Wilson and Kaepernick both are done. Right, so is RG3. RG3, we've already seen it.
But with our teams, the roster we have, not just our quarterbacks, I don't see a position where we would be really bad. So we wouldn't get it unless we trade up for it.
I mean, right now, you're not taking into account trading.
Well, what I'm saying right now, the sweepstakes are the Jets.
You got to open up your
and the Raiders.
You got to be like the doctor and open your mouth.
And the Jaguars, for the love of God, don't start Blaine Gabbert, but they are anyway.
But anyways, that is headlines, ladies and gentlemen.
Chock full of ooey gooey goodness.
Yeah, ooey gooey goodness indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, OVW wrestling coverage, everybody's favorite, Brian Cannon, an interview that we did today that turned into a hoopla, and then our SummerSlam picks right after this. Stay tuned. Triple Threat Talk.
Hoopla.
IWU Louisville knows business. Not only did I earn my graduate degree, but I experienced a well-rounded education that benefits me my entire life.
The enrollment experience here is fantastic. They fit it around my schedule. They know I'm working. They know I have a family. They really took an interest in my goals here at IWU. IWU knows business.
Indiana Wesleyan University, Louisville. Change your life, change your world.
And welcome, everyone. Back from the break, Triple Threat Talk. I was ready to open up the show.
And welcome everyone to episode 111.
Take it away, Brian Cannon.
Hey everybody, Brian Cannon here once again for another edition of OVWMania on Triple Threat Talk. This is on episode 111, and I'm going to start by talking about the latest edition of OVW Television. It was filmed last Wednesday, August 7th at the Davis Arena. It was episode number 729, and I titled it over on OVWMania.blogspot.com, Happy Birthday Jamin, because it was indeed his birthday, and his birthday played into part of what happened last week. But we'll get into that in a couple moments. The show started off with a number 1 contenders match for the television title. Rudy Switchblade defeated Dylan Bostic by submission and will now face Flash Flanagan of the Marauders for the TV title on the next episode. Randy Royal came out next. He said that he had had enough of Tony Gunn, said that Tony's cost him his livelihood, that he's tried beating Tony like a dog. He said that the feud has to end tonight, that he has nothing left. He said he thought Tony was a friend and he's gotten stabbed in the back by him. He said that he's now even having to live in the cab of his pickup because he doesn't have a home to go to. Then Tony Gunn comes out and says that he had to put his career on hold to help Royal come back from his heart attack. Said that he feels like he was the one that was stabbed in the back and that Randy's getting what he deserves. Royal says that he's just being jealous and said that he cost him his last shot at the OVW TV title at Saturday Night Special. Tony Gunn says that he might only have one arm, but he calls Randy Royal a wuss. Royal says that he doesn't care if he has to tie one arm, one leg, or stuff cotton in his ear behind him, that he wants Tony Gunn in the ring tonight. Tony says that although he's not 100%, he's 101% going to shove his fist down Royal's throat. So that set up our main event for the evening. Next up, Taylor Hendricks came out. She was supposed to take on one of the Blossoms and told him to figure it out. As the Blossoms are arguing, a voice comes on over the speakers, and it is the official debut of the Body Guy. He comes to the ring, and before he can disrobe, the Masked Assassin comes to the ring and takes out the Body Guy with a powerful clothesline to ruin his debut. Next up, Jay Bradley had a party set up for Jamin Olivencia. This is where the birthday thing comes in. He says first that he got another win under his belt by disqualification, beating Jamin at the Saturday Night Special. He has all the OVW ladies come out for the party, and then asks Jamin to come out and says, you know, he's not ready to fight or anything like that. He doesn't have his wrist tape on. He doesn't have his boom sleeve. But he has Jamin come out. When he does, he's got Latin music playing. And then he has some different gifts from people that apparently know Jamin on the table set up at ringside. The first card he opens, which is addressed to Nacho Oliveras, has a monkey on the front of it, and he says that the card looks just like Jamin. It's short and hairy. And then on the inside it says that this gift is from his favorite server at Taco Bell, and there's a plate of nachos that goes with it. The next card has a riddle on it. It says, why did the birthday boy cross the road? And then when he opens it up, it says, to get across the border. And it has a green card in it, and he gives Jamin the green card and says make sure he puts it in his wallet, because it's not like a library card where if you lose it, you can get more than one. And then the final gift is apparently from Jay Bradley. It has an 8x10 autographed picture of himself in it. And then it has the weapon that he had loaded his boomstick with at S&S that Jamin then exposed and used to hit Jay Bradley with, where he got disqualified. And Jay says, oh, wait, you've already got one of those. Here, let me see if I can find the receipt. He goes to hit Jamin, but Jamin ducks, fires back at Jay, and then a birthday cake that's on the table gets smashed in Jay Bradley's face by Jamin. And then Jamin gets in the ring with the ladies and celebrates, holding the title up high in the air. In the back, the Rockstar Spud and Ryan Howe, I think they're now going by a new tag team name of Double Platinum. But they're trying to talk to Tony Gunn, making sure that he definitely wants to go through with this match, which he says he does. He says he needs to get it taken care of. And then we see Randy Royal talking to Chris Sharp about how he's going to have his arm tied behind his back. And Sharp says they were going to be using a set of handcuffs. And Royal looks him over real good and says that he thinks he has a friend that has some like those. So he was clearly up to something at that point and walks out. The TV title was on the line. Flash Flanagan kept the television championship, defeating Eddie Diamond. They were supposed to have the first round of the second annual Nightmare Cup between the VIP Club and the current OVW Tag Team Champions, Muhammad Ali Vaez and Michael Hayes. But it ended in a no contest because the Marauders came out and attacked all of them, including the VIP Club. So I guess that match just got thrown out. I don't know if they'll try to redo it or if whoever wins the next match in the tournament will get a bye because of this. Jesse Goddard then comes out next after this, and he's still blaming Dean Hill for all his problems, for his losing streak, for having to wear the bunny suit, and basically goads him into a match for the next edition of OVW TV. So we will see Jesse Goddard versus Dean Hill. And then the final match of the evening was supposed to be Randy Royal and Tony Gunn. However, after Randy Royal was handcuffed, he actually had a key for the handcuffs in his mouth that he spit out and unlocked the handcuffs with, and then he locked Tony Gunn in the handcuffs around the ring post and basically beat the crap out of him with a steel chair. And that's how the night ended. For all the details and, of course, the other results from the dark matches and such, don't forget you can go to ovwmania.blogspot.com. I have all of that information there. I'm going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with a couple other things, events coming up, ways you can watch Old School and Saturday Night Special, some of the events that OVW has coming out, and what you can expect on the next edition of OVW Television.
Here we are. The world is ours.
Alright, so if you're watching on Triple Threat Talk, or if you visit my website, ovwmania.blogspot.com, and you say, man, these Saturday night specials or these events like Old School sound really cool, how can I watch them? Well, OVW finally has video on demand, and you can watch every Old School and every Saturday night special after they're uploaded online. I think the cost of them is like right at $10, and you can watch them anytime you want on your computer. You can go to www.live.com. That's www.live.com and go to the OVW section. As of right now, I believe they have the July Saturday night special and the first ever edition of Old School that happened first Sunday in August up for viewing now. But it's a way that OVW can A, make more money, but B, the viewers out there that would like to watch these shows, especially if you can't make it to the Davis Arena, can now watch them in the comfort of your own home on your computer. So it's a very cool thing. So make sure you check that out. As far as other upcoming events, if you are in the area and you'd like to come watch OVW, Sunday, August 18th, Homecoming 13. I believe Rob Conway and Nick Dinsmore are tag teaming that night. Friday, August 23rd. No Holds Barred. This is a special show. It's for adults only, 18 and over. And what's going to happen is Trailer Park Trash, Rip Rogers, Nick Dinsmore, and the OVW owner himself, Danny Davis, will be in the ring telling stories. And they said some of it could get a little explicit, so that's why it's an 18 and over show. But they'll be telling stories from their careers, things that happen backstage, on the road, that sort of thing. And it should be a real fun night for any of the fans out there that want to kind of take a trip down memory lane and find out some of the inside stuff that they might not have ever heard before. Of course, the TV tapings happen every Wednesday night, and then the next Saturday night special comes your way on Saturday, September 7th. So you might want to mark all those down on your calendar because they're coming pretty quick. I'd also like to give a thanks as usual to referee Chris Sharp, who continues to help me promote my website, and of course I in turn try to help promote everything at OVW, and of course things he does on his own too, like his really cool wrestling podcast that only kind of has to do with wrestling. And of course you can follow him on Facebook. You can find him at Package Chris Sharp, or on Twitter at REF Chris Sharp. That's CHRISSHARPE. So you can follow him there. As for next week's edition of OVW TV, we already know that Flash Flanagan will be defending the OVW television title against Rudy Switchblade. Jesse Goddard's wrestling in the bunny suit. Is actually going one-on-one with the legendary voice of OVW, Dean Hill. And there was actually, I'm filming this late Tuesday night, August 13th. Officially, it's probably August 14th because it's after midnight. But OVW put out on Facebook tonight, there's going to be a big announcement regarding the OVW Femme Fatales, the ladies of OVW. So we got that going on as well. So it should be a good episode that I'll be talking about next week. A little bit later, not very much because that's usually the next thing after OVWs. They talk about WWE. I'll be back in just a moment to give my picks along with the Triple Threat Talk guys for SummerSlam, WWE's second biggest pay-per-view of the year that happens this Sunday. And until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for OVWMania, and back to the studio.
Good stuff as usual.
But before we get into WWE, we have more OVW.
Yes, we do. We do have more OVW. Last week, you went last week, so you can take it away.
I did not come.
You went.
I went the Wednesday before last. Went to the Saturday Night Special, which we covered last week, and then I didn't go this past Wednesday.
Those of you in the Louisville area, one thing that is coming up Sunday, if you're not a WWE fan, if you watch this show for our OVW coverage and our TNA coverage and you don't care about WWE, Homecoming 12 is going on at the Davis Arena this Sunday. You can contact us. We'll get you in touch with somebody and get tickets for you, or you can contact your favorite wrestler or your favorite studying wrestler.
Just go to OV Wrestling on Facebook, and there's a phone number there,
and you can definitely give them a call. What else we got for OVW?
Except for what you have left. That's about it, I think.
What do we have left?
Interview.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so scared about it. I mean, take a look, see what happened. And welcome everyone to Triple Threat Talk. This is the Doctor. Usually I'm a little bit more excited, but today I have the unprivilege, if you will, of interviewing one Mr. Josh Ashcroft.
It's Ashcroft.
Yeah, nobody cares. Okay. You are an OVW official, however, and it is our duty to interview you. Take us, please, through the state of this wonderful organization called OVW.
Well, OVW is actually doing really well now. We have a video-on-demand service in case you have missed SNSs or the old school events. We have a new television channel. We're now on Ion 21. The company as a whole is growing, and it's really, really good. It's a really good time right now for High Level Wrestling. I mean, just look at the things we have going on. We've got the feud between Tony Gunn and Randy Royal. It's gotten progressively more and more and more brutal over the weeks. Jesse Goddard's and Dean Hill, they've had their interactions. Jamie Olivinci and Jay Bradley for the heavyweight championship, the tag team championship, the Marauders, everything even from the breakup between Eddie Diamond and Epiphany.
Hey, man. Why are you talking to him about my business, man? Come on. Josh, I love you, man, but you can't put my business out in the street like that.
For real. I didn't want to interview an official, but between you being lame and you being the worst hype man I've ever seen, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I am sorry about the
breakup. What you want to do is go down to Men's Warehouse and get your new outfit, man. You talk to me lame with your periwinkle shirt, your khakis, your 10-gallon hat, your Buick Justice.
And what kind of doctor are you? A proctologist?
No.
I mean, come on now. I mean, Triple Talk Radio. And you're number 3. Number 3, you tried hard.
Trying to get this together here. We have Mr. Diamond insinuating that this is a horrible outfit, which I think our viewers would strongly disagree with.
Ass.
Oh, yeah. Coming from the expert, it would definitely seem like
we are an expert in ass, yo, for real.
You take your little green bow tie and take. Oh God. You see what you've done? You've gotten loud. I'm out of here. I ain't messing with this. Stop.
Go.
You still here? Yikes.
Well, let's see. First of all,
I hold my own.
First of all, this was the first interview we've ever done at OVW since November of 2012, episode, I believe, 73. So we believe that was the last one interview we did was with Joel Coleman. So that was a long time ago.
The Jack Knight.
That was a long time ago. So it's been a long time coming. Hopefully we'll have more interviews in the future like we did before. Looking at certain people, obviously, to interview. I'll say this much, and I don't usually promote a lot of people on the show. I mean, I do. I promote all the and stuff like that. But Two people I'm looking at right now a lot is Jamin. I think Jamin's look is better than ever. I think the goatee works for him. I think he is better than ever in terms of being champion. I think Jamin really is maximizing his potential at this point. I think he is really close to making that turn and going bigger and better things. And I'll say this much, like, I like Shiloh Jones for two reasons. One, he's a huge Seahawks fan like myself. I was talking about Seahawks football before we WW Wednesday night. And also, I've watched wrestling a lot. I've seen a lot of greats, come and go. Shiloh Jones, his persona now with the Marauders, I look at it and I close my eyes and I just think he reminds me so much of Brian Pillman. And he personifies the loose cannon persona, I think, very well. And I don't know if Shiloh watched the show or not, but I think a huge compliment to pay to him. I'm going to tell him that to himself if we interview him down the road. I think the gimmick he plays now is fantastic. I think the way he portrays I think he's supposedly the leader of the Marauders. It's him or Joe Coleman, but I see a lot of Brian Pillman, persona in him, and I want to see him. There's a lot of people I want to see, but right now those two are people I'm really looking at to really maximize their potential and make things happen for themselves.
OVW is looking up. Got a great young crop of wrestlers coming up at Homecoming. Our new friend Rachel,
the repairman,
also as well.
Team Family Matters.
No, they've already done it.
Oh, they did. Okay,
yeah.
that's right.
Brent Hawk is coming up. We've got a lot more, and also coming back. Paradise will be wrestling at the Homecoming. So will Nick Dinsmore, as he always does.
Hey, Nick Dinsmore.
Rob Conway as well. So you've got a great crop of wrestlers, and our friend Rachel has also been on television a couple times now. She was on twice this past week and once last week.
She'll be on, yeah.
So,
well, wait. I have to ask though. This is a serious question. I hope I get the right answer. Now, I have to compose myself to ask this question because it's really hard to ask. At Homecoming, will we see the body guy?
Probably.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yes.
I would even go as far as to say Homecoming would be a complete and utter failure.
I agree.
If the body guy was not there.
I agree. Brian Cannon, we're demanding you
make body guy number one.
No. Well, number one's outrageous, but put him in the top 20. For the love of God, the body guy, he can't show off his body. Because the assassin doesn't let him. That's outrageous.
And you know what? Me and the assassin, it's going to come back around to you, buddy. You don't mess with the doctor when he's conducting an interview. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a lame ass like Josh Ashcroft. And I don't care if I've said his last name wrong, just like I told him. I don't care if it's two lamers like Diamond and Danger, D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Assassin, you watch your back because you've messed with the doc for the last time, brother. The last time. I'm telling you what. I'm not scared of you. I do not care what kind of mask you're wearing. The doctor fears nobody. What are you doing?
3 words for you.
What's that?
Dead man sitting.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. Ask me if I've ever run away from a fight in my life, because the answer is no. I didn't run away from that pipsqueak at Homecoming.
You got your head bashed.
Yeah, that's why I still didn't run away.
Well, you couldn't run. You were kind of out cold.
Shut up. Anyway,
that's OVW.
We want to thank OVW for everything they do for us besides throwing us Josh Ashcraft and...
You said it right.
Yeah, I know. And Diamond and Danger. Yeah, that was not cool. Thanks. But anyways, want to thank Terry and Cheryl Bodie for everything they do for us. Want to thank Frank Miller, Danny Davis, Al Snow, Nick Dinsmore, the whole gang at Ohio Valley Wrestling. Am I forgetting anything? No? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So now...
Thanks, Sharpo. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, who cares about Sharp? Yeah. Anyways, it's about as bad as getting Ashcraft on this show.
It's true.
WWE Summerslam predictions now or later?
I want to mention one thing on Raw that was big for me, and he even said it. I thought the promo that Cena and Bryan delivered was fantastic. Particularly, here's the thing. I know how good John Cena is on the mic. I think everyone knows how good he is on the mic. But the promo he delivered on Monday it felt like a personal thing he was saying. I felt like it was coming from him instead of a writer. I think it was
That's
really,
why I liked it.
It was really him pouring his soul out there to Bryan. It's like, really? you think this is me? You think I'm a parody and all that. He really went hard on Brian and what he was saying, and I really was liking what he was saying about it. That was the big thing for me from Raw. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I could talk about because we have SummerSlam to talk about too, but I thought that promo from Cena was just powerful stuff.
Yeah, the Bray Wyatt segment was good as well. He's just awesome.
Follow the buzzards.
But yeah, Zeke, my friend Zeke. You think I gave him a heart attack when I said it was a good promo? He's like, what? What happened? Yeah, John Cena actually cut a good promo, which I was impressed. That doesn't happen with me and John Cena very often. But
he's definitely getting up there, one of the best in the mic ever. I mean, his promos just, you kind of like you're surprised about it.
All right, everybody, this is Brian Cannon once again, and I'm going to give what I think might possibly happen this Sunday, my picks for WWE Summerslam. The pre-show is going to feature RVD, the new #1 contender for the U.S. title, taking on the Shield's Dean Ambrose. With not a whole lot of build to this, and the fact that I don't think RVD is going to be around very long before he takes his first break, I believe Dean Ambrose will hold on to the title, and it'll only help elevate Dean Ambrose farther into the main event scene here in the future. So I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose in that one. I don't think it was ever confirmed. If it was, I didn't hear for sure. But if the Shield takes on the Big Show and Mark Henry, I think the Shield will retain because there hasn't been enough build to it. I know they've talked about it, but I would say the Shield holds on to the titles in that scenario. Natalya Neidhart versus Brie Bella. I believe, in my opinion, Brie Bella will win this one. And the reason I say that is because we've also heard the possibility of Maria Menounos getting involved in the ring once again. And if they have a tag match where Maria teams up with Natty to take on the Bellas, I can see Brie winning this one, building up to that match where then I would see, if they have that match in the future, Maria and Natty beating the Bella Twins. I'm sure this feud will probably continue for a little while, especially while the Total Divas reality show is on. So that's why I think Brie will probably get the better of her this Sunday. Sticking in the Divas division, actually mixed tag action, Big E Langston and AJ Lee versus Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn. Only because they had a loss on Monday's Raw, I'm going to go with Big E and AJ. I like Dolph Ziggler a lot. I've never gotten Caitlyn at all. So I think that AJ and Big E need a big win this Sunday. So I think that's going to be the match for them to take. Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. Originally when I know Big B said that he thought that this could possibly turn into a match where the briefcase was on the line, but with it not being on the line, for now I say Damian Sandow takes this match, and then maybe the feud continues, and maybe on down the line, Rhodes, if they do put the briefcase on the line especially, Rhodes might take it, but for now this Sunday I'm going to go with Sandow. Then you got the Ring of Fire match with Kane and Bray Wyatt. With the build for the Wyatt family and the fact that Kane really hasn't done anything of, really newsworthy lately, I'm going to say that Bray Wyatt wins this match. The Beast versus the Best, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. I think there's going to possibly be a chance of interference between Heyman, Curtis Axel, maybe, but I still think this one's tough because Brock Lesnar seems to keep coming in and losing, but I think in this one I'm going to go with CM Punk unless they have another match down the line again too. But for now I'm going to say CM Punk on this one because it seems like so far, especially all my picks are almost all the heels. So I'm going to go with the face in this one and say CM Punk defeats Brock Lesnar. And then the world title matches. First, Christian and Alberto Del Rio. I can't stand Del Rio, but for now I'm going to say that he holds on to the world title for at least a little while longer. Maybe he has another match with Christian down the line, or maybe the Money in the Bank comes into play. But for now, I'm going to go with Del Rio in this one. And then the final match of the night, of course, John Cena defending against Daniel Bryan. This one's kind of tricky now with Triple H being involved as the referee as well. What I'm going to say is that Triple H counts a win for Daniel Bryan over John Cena, especially now that we know that John Cena's got the elbow injury where he'll probably need some time off. John Cena's definitely dropping the title is what I'm going to say. But something I can see happening, and I know they've kind of talked about the possibility of Randy Orton cashing in. I can almost see Vince McMahon coming out with Randy Orton, and Vince McMahon, since Triple H made himself referee, Vince McMahon being the referee, and Randy Orton coming out and cashing in on Daniel Bryan, and maybe Vince makes a fast count, which will help Randy Orton cash in on Daniel Bryan. That will start a feud between them while Cena's out recovering, and that'll definitely cement Orton now, even though it wasn't really his fault, just because Vince hates Daniel Bryan so much and helps Randy Orton get the win. It'll help Orton become the heel, and all the fans will get behind Daniel Bryan, hoping that he can come back and get the title back from Randy Orton after he cashes in. So that's my idea for Sunday. I think, especially with the whole Triple H Vince McMahon thing going on, that's going to play big into that match and the possibility of the Money in the Bank cashing in. So we'll see what the Triple Threat Talk guys have to say, but those are my picks for Sunday, and we'll see what happens.
United States Championship. Dean Ambrose, Rob Van Dam.
Pre-show match, fella. Rob Van Dam facing Dean Ambrose isn't a surprise because I think they brought back Rob Van Dam to do something. I don't see Ambrose losing it yet. I don't think Van Dam's going to come back and become a champion. So
I got Ambrose as well.
And Jimmy also has Ambrose.
Okay, Ambrose across the board.
The PMJ.
Okay.
Follow the key.
Right. Natalya and Brie.
Supposedly, according to Brian Cameron, this is getting changed. There's a thing, supposedly it's supposed to be Natalya and Maria versus the Bella. I have no idea, but right now we'll just take it as it is. Natalya versus Brie Bella. I'm picking Brie Bella just because I expect twin magic to happen.
I'm picking Brie as well.
I expect twin magic. So. And then Jimmy picks Natalya.
Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow.
I have this half right. I said this match was going to happen at SummerSlam. I thought it'd be for the briefcase. I think somewhere down the road they're going to do that anyway. For this particular match, just because it's not for the briefcase, I'm going to pick Sandow because Cody's been getting the better of Sandow week in and week out, so I think this time Sandow's going to probably get the win over on Cody.
I'm picking Sandow.
Jimmy picks Cody Rhodes.
Dolph and Caitlyn versus Big E and AJ.
This is originally supposed to be just Dolph and Big E, but I guess they're adding the women in as well, and I think this clash of the four of them is pretty good. Big E's gotten the better of Dolph a couple weeks, so I'm going to go with Dolph on this one.
I'm going with Dolph.
Dolph across the board.
Dolph and Caitlyn as well. Ring of Fire match. Kane and Bray.
To a burning Ring of Fire.
Thank you.
I like Bray Wyatt right now. I think he's just as over and in the spotlight as anybody besides Daniel Bryan. But I think Bray Wyatt, this is going to be a big breakout match for him, and I think Bray Wyatt takes it.
I've got Bray as well.
Bray Wyatt across the board.
Match.
Bray Wyatt across the board.
World Heavyweight Championship, Del Rio and Christian.
I like Christian. I know Jimmy picks Christian, by the way. I like Christian. I just don't see him beating Del Rio. I really don't. I pick Del Rio in this one.
I'm picking Del Rio as well. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar.
The best versus the beast as it's being taglined. I like Punk in this one. I think Punk, him beating Brock Lesnar would be a big win for him. And I think after him losing the title, he hasn't really done much since he lost the title, so I picked Punk.
I got Punk across the board.
And now the main event, the big one.
John Cena versus Daniel Bryan with Orton or with Triple H as special guest referee.
Jimmy has exactly what I'm going to say here. So
I'm going to say it too.
He picks Bryan. And this is what I think is going to happen, honestly. This is my honest opinion, my wrestling opinion that I've watched for almost for 20 years. Daniel Bryan, there's no one more over in the WWE. There's no one more over in wrestling that I know of than Daniel Bryan. And for him to beat John Cena cleanly, which I think he's going to, I don't think it's going to be disqualification or anything kind of sketchy. I think Bryan's going to beat him straight up, which would get Bryan from here all the way somewhere I can't even reach to. It's upper echelon of being, over. So he's like Really, really over. More over than he is now. So then the crowd's in a jubilation. Daniel Bryan wins. Yes, yes, yes. The crowd has gone berserk. Orton cashes in, punts him in the head, takes the title. Orton just gets straight up hated. And that's what they want to do. They want to turn Orton heel. They want him to be, probably the most hated guy in the company, and that would be the way to do it. Have the guy that's all the way up here kick him, and then the guy that did it is all the way down here because the guy up here people really liked. So I like Bryan to win, then Orton's going to cash in.
I think the same thing. I think Daniel Bryan, Orton. I don't think Orton can ever truly go heel because he's kind of paid his time. People like him now. People know that's just who he is because even as a face, we see him do some very heel-like things. So people take him as he comes. But it would be a way for people, a little bit more people, to boo him. He would still get overall cheered, though. I'm taking Bryan with the cash into Orton as well.
Everyone says the same thing, so that's our SummerSlam picks. Hopefully next week. Most of them are right, but if not, it'll be something different. So.
Do we have an Idiot of the Week?
I do not have an Idiot of the Week.
I don't either, unfortunately.
Wild card. I actually don't have a wild card either. The only wild card I have is this past Sunday, last week, the premiere of Season 5B of Breaking Bad was on, and the show's incredible. I just got into it last week, surprisingly. I watched, we were able to watch all this stuff on Netflix, thanks for Netflix. But the show is fantastic. I see why Bryan Cranston wins all his Emmys he wins, and if you haven't checked out Breaking Bad, definitely do yourself a favor and do it. It's one of the best shows on TV, and it's actually ending this year. It's doing its last 8 episodes. Definitely watch that. Also watch The Talking Dead with Chris Hardwick. They did The Talking Dead with The Walking Dead. Now doing The Talking Dead with Breaking Bad. So definitely check out AMC. It's pretty much the best network on TV.
I think my wild card is today DC Comics announced that after Justice League War comes out, which focuses on the first 6 issues of the new Justice League New 52, next year there will be 2 new Batman animated features. It would be The Son of Batman, which for those of you who don't know, he did have a son with Talia al Ghul, and the son's name is Damian Wayne, who is also a trained assassin within the League of Shadows. So he's a little bit of a wild card. And the other one is Arkham Assault, Batman Arkham Assault. We don't know what that one will be out yet, although speculation is about it will take place around the video games. I also discovered a new show this week, a couple weeks ago, Californication, with David Duchovny on Showtime. I have not been disappointed at all.
How have you watched it?
It is hilarious.
Do you have Dish?
No, a friend of mine let me borrow the first 2 seasons. I'm looking for season 3. I can't find it.
Because, obviously, if you live in the Louisville area, Time Warner Cable and CBS had a huge dispute, and people here are furious because they can't watch Dexter. Dexter's ending, so
Dexter or show.
That's a pretty bad thing that's going on with that.
Or the Tudors, yeah. That's the thing. Anyways, short show this week, a little bit shorter, on the shorter side. Go ahead and start up with your spiel.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to like us on Facebook, please click that like button at facebook.com/triplethreattalk. Definitely follow us on Twitter. Actually, a story about Twitter next week we're going to announce on Facebook about it. Follow us on Twitter at triplethreattalk. If there's any comment or question you have at triplethreattalk.com. And thank you to Terry and Cheryl Boyd for the website. Help visit triplethreattalk.com. This is Big B.
And definitely like us on Twitter, because you will want to for next week. This is Gary the Dr. Lockhart signing off for Postmaster Jones as well.
This is Big B signing off. Enjoy SummerSlam, and definitely if you're into the WWE 2K14 video game, check out the stream this upcoming Saturday. They're going to do the roster reveal. Definitely, I'm going to be tuning into that and seeing what people are in the game and how they look and how the games are going to progress come the release in October. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.